What's up, my brothers? During the course of a divorce in Norway, a police officer has alerted me to this three-step rocket process which women use to allege a false domestic violence against men. That video is several back. I'll put a card up on the top right. You might want to check that out afterwards. But this one is a follow-up to that, and he sent me some more details on rape and rape accusations. So again, this is from a seasoned police officer, 20 years in the force, and the story goes as such. In the Unplugged Alpha podcast number 121, you were talking about how far women are willing to go to manage their reputation. This brings us to another pattern I've seen revealing more than 20 years of my time in Norway as a police officer. What I'm about to describe is an example of what women are willing to do to manage their reputation, and this is something extremely dangerous for men. Not just married men, for any men. Sometimes I talk to women who come to the station to report rape. In most of these cases, the woman is either married, with kids, or she has a boyfriend. My point is that the women I'm describing is any woman out there. Any woman out there having a relationship with any man. When she has cheated on her man, the most important thing for her to do is to manage her reputation. She knows that in a short time, her friends or whoever was at the party where the cheating happened will know what happened and it'll get out. So before the rumors begin to spread, she must get ahead of them, go to the police station to report a rape. And as always, her girlfriends who were also at the same party support her through the process because of the police interviews. So this is deception. This is flat out bold-faced lying now. And of course, she doesn't care about all the false rape accusations will destroy the rest of a man's life. She doesn't care about the man losing his family or his kids when his wife gets to know he's a rapist. She doesn't care about the man having to move to another town because his neighbors see him as a grapist. I'm going to start using that word instead of the R word. Algorithms and stuff. The only thing that matters for this woman is her reputation. Now she is the rape victim, a victim who can continue to live her life living with the beta male at home, getting all the sympathy, help, and support from family, friends, and the authorities. Now, I followed up with a follow-up question, and I said to him, that's interesting. What percentage have you discovered in your experience are false and women are taking these preventative steps to manage their reputation, get ahead of cheating on her husband or boyfriend by reporting it as a grape? He wrote back and he said, based on my experience, the estimate would be more than 80% of these grapes are she was cheating and trying to manage her reputation. It's a very mild estimate. According to official stats for Norway, over 80% of all reported grape cases are dropped, which means the cases never make it to a court of law. According to the official statistics, 10% of all reported rape cases end in a conviction. Although it is good that the justice system does not believe most of the false accusations of rape, the number also says a lot about how many men have their lives destroyed unjustly because of false accusations. Remember, guys, you don't even have to prove anything because we live in an era today where it's believe all women, right? So keep in mind, all they have to do is point at you and sputter some words, and you could be dealing with the consequences for a very long time, as he just described here. He says, I understand that many are asking why these women are not convicted of false charges, including cases involved in the three-stage rocket. That's the other video that I mentioned before. That card again is up at the top right. It's an important question, of course, and there's a high level of punishment for submitting a false report to the police. The problem is obtaining evidence, and it's very difficult to prove that a person has knowingly submitted a false report. So then, unfortunately, the easiest solution is to simply drop the case on the basis that the state of the evidence, also taking into account that women are generally punished more lightly than men. So there you have it, guys. I don't know if the rates are identical in North America or other developed Western countries, but I think on a balance of probabilities, we can probably assume, based on this officer's experience and female nature being fairly consistent across the board. Like, let's be honest, all women are hypergamous. All women have difficulty seeing past their own noses. They're solipsistic, so they struggle to see it from the point of view of a guy. They'll do what's in their best interest. They'll choose men, that are in their best interest for their own survival reasons. Again, hypergamy, dating across and up on the socio-economic scale. Women are pretty consistent across the board. I always say, look, man, there's some pretty terrific women out there, but you're gonna have to dig through a lot of dirt to find them. Find gold, actually. Is probably the best way to describe it. Digging through a lot of dirt to find gold. But all women are consistently women. There's really no unicorns out there. They all have the capacity to do a false domestic violence charge like this officer described in a prior video. Again, the card's up at the top right. Or if they end up stepping out on the marriage, the boyfriend, whatever it happens to be, she's at a bachelorette's party, she's at a party or whatever it happens to be, and she steps out, cheats, and other people see it, may tell her husband or her boyfriend, go to a police station and say, oops, this happened to me and I didn't consent, and therefore I would like to press or file this report. Because, I mean, why would you lie to the authorities? Why would you file a report that is untruthful, that is deceptive? You know, people aren't supposed to lie to the police, but apparently they do. He also actually gave another piece of advice, which I didn't read over here real quick. He said, one more thing I want to add, and this advice is to all men who are subjected to false accusations. If you've had sex with a woman, never deny this in a police interview. If you've left just one hair, one skill cell, one sperm on or in the woman's body, the crime scene investigators will find it. It weakens your credibility dramatically if you refuse intimate contact and part of you is still found on or in the woman's body. It's much better to admit that you've had sex with a woman, but that you specify that there was consent from her. Consent can be explained by reproducing what she said, i.e. her verbal consent, or also that she said herself actively contributed to taking off your own clothes, touching, kissing, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. All right, let's head on the road. I mean, guys, you know, we live in difficult times today. There's a lot of moving parts. There's many pieces to these puzzles that guys are dealing with today. And it's very, very difficult to offer sane, safe solutions to the complexities that we live in the world today. But I think the warning that this gracious police officer has offered as a viewer of the channel and a subscriber to you guys sets some pretty interesting precedents. Again, I've talked many times. He was referencing one of the podcasts that I do. If you guys aren't subscribed to the Unplugged Alpha podcast channel, do so. That's my live show where I podcast twice a week on different topics, Ladies Night and the Unplugged Alpha, which is just an expansion on my book, pinned below. But the notion that women have to manage their reputation and will go to extensive lengths, clearly at the detriment of a guy who may lose his job, who may lose his family, whose wife may divorce him after, you know, a rape accusation is made against him. These things are problematic. They're not easy or simple to deal with. So be warned. Be warned, guys. What's your experience with stuff like this? Do you have any stories? Share them below. Pin in the top comment. There's a bunch of useful links, things you should definitely take a look at, including my book, my supplement line, my community, and all the other good stuff. See you guys later. Have an awesome day. Peace out.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.